Welcome back. This is the Morning Dew Show. I'm your host, Arimo Mugo. Remember, here we talk about issues affecting us, the society, and everybody else. And today we're talking about climate. And in studio, I'm glad to have a team from We Don't Have Time. They've been steering the conversation about climate, and gracing the show today, I have Patrick, who is the county director, and the CEO. I have Simon Peter and Timothy the father left. Together we talk the conversation on climate, and as we were heading for the break, I asked, is it hopeless to stop climate change?
To my view, it's not hopeless. It can never be hopeless. And actually, it's a time that you are gaining momentum because we have taken it to another level, an individual level. Because we look at governments, they are very reluctant. We look at the stakeholders, corporations, institutions, these industries which are emitting these gases into the atmosphere and fueling the climate crisis. But at this time, it's on an individual level, whereby we have so many activists, so many climate advocate groups and organizations gearing up to exert pressure so that action can be taken. Because essentially, we don't have time, like we are saying.
Yeah, I was about to ask, how much time do we have to stop climate change?
There's no time, absolutely. Although the world or the global, there's a mark whereby we have the 2030 mark, or which by the world needs to reduce or even half the emissions, carbon emissions. Organizations, companies, and other companies are being urged to step up their effort in reducing the global emissions, the carbon emissions, and now setting up their targets when they can be able to lower the carbon emissions. So it's not hopeless. It can never be hopeless. If you give up, it's like you're encouraging the burning of a house that you are already in. The planet inhabits us, and we are in it. But it seems like we are burning the house, we are still in it. So if it's hopeless to do so, we burn down in it, of which we cannot agree that to happen. Yeah.
I know as a team, or We Don't Have Time, you've been steering the conversation about climate. So what are the solutions to climate change? What solutions do you have?
I think as Peter had said, we don't have time. Yes, because it is actually said that by 2030, some of the changes that will have been brought up by climate change will be reversible. This is just to tell you how serious this crisis is to the humanity. Are there solutions? Yes, there are solutions. And among the solutions are, it's high time now we have these conversations amongst ourselves. In our country now, say we are in an election year, as the leaders are coming to sell their manifestos to us, let us be so quick to see what they have in store in regard to matters to do with climate. Like, what strategies are they giving us, bringing to us, that will ensure that they will mitigate the effects of climate crisis. The other thing is we can encourage young people, to contribute, to bridge, to contribute to these conversations by engaging young people like us, as also engaging, so that when they engage people, they'll be able to bridge the information gap. Because I believe there is a great information gap in matters to do with climate change. Not many people are conversant about this topic, especially the young people. So there is a lot of information gap between the people the expertise, and those people who don't know. So I think it's also one way that we can be able to sensitize people on acting towards it. The other thing is planting of trees, and also which will go a long way to offset the carbon emissions. The other way is, going the green way energy. Let us embrace the use of solar power. Let us embrace the use of wind power and also hydropower. Yeah, those among others. But there is hope.
What is We Don't Have doing to push the agenda this far?
Okay, great. What we are doing, we are creating awareness on our social media platform, which is We Don't Have Time. We are giving people awareness on the current crisis we are in, and offering solutions through reviews, which our director will address. We are bringing people on board. We've created a platform whereby we can have this dialogue. We can bring people, corporates, leaders across the globe, and have this conversation on how we can help to mitigate the effects of this crisis. Yes.
When you talk about current crisis, what's the picture like?
Well, like say for example,
The picture is really worse actually. You can say that. It's really worse. It's all of us to combine our efforts, like how my colleagues they are saying. We combine that efforts, we give that awareness, and we believe in the power of many. And through that power of many, I think we can get the solution or the solve to solve the problems that we are having.
I want us to. I want you to tell us about the reviews, but before that, I want him to paint a picture to that young mother, to that old shosho at home, so that they know when I'm dropping a yogurt container on the road, what does it mean? When I'm dropping that sweet paper, what does it mean?
Great. You earlier asked a question like, what is this? What is the current picture?
Yes.
And I'll give an analogy. Some years back, it was so easy to predict the weather patterns. You know, we knew in January we will have, you know, bit of sunshine. Come July, we'll have the long rains, and in November, December, now we'll get the short rains. But currently, owing to the climate crisis we are in, we cannot be able to predict the weather patterns. We cannot be able to predict the rainfall. It's now in January and we're experiencing some rainfall, something that we were not used to. So that tells you, that depicts to you a picture of how the effect of climate crisis we are in looks like. In Sudan currently, there are a lot of floods and hunger and drought, owing to the fact that you know, Africa is the most vulnerable region due to the of the climate crisis. Yet we emit like 4% of the carbon emissions. See, and so that's just to tell you how adverse these effects are to us, and that now calls for us to act. If I drop a plastic, you know, a yogurt plastic, as you had said, on the ground, that plastic is not degradable, yeah. And the fact that it's not degradable, it will cause an effect to, you know, to that soil, and that soil will be affected such that it will not be as fertile as it would have been. So that is just one way that we can be able, that would, you know, would sober our minds to take care of our environment, and maybe call for our awareness, whereby people are educated on maybe on what they do on every day-to-day activities, and on how it will affect the environment. So I think it calls for a collective responsibility, both from us and also other stakeholders, to educate the young people, the elderly, on how we should conduct ourselves, so that we can be able to take care of our Mother Nature Earth. Yeah.
You talked about reviews, and I want to throw it to Patrick. Tell us about that.
Okay, about We Don't Have Time is the organization that was started back 2016 by somebody called Igor, who is our CEO. And this organization started back 2016 in Sweden. Okay, the main reason, I think he sat down and he minded about the future of his children. The way we, as young generations, we might mind about our marriage, about the children we'll be having, about everything regarding our family. So he came up with this issue, and he noted we don't have time. Surely we don't have time regarding the issues of climate change. We humans, we are the main cause. We have affected us in one way or the other. And I think that idea of one person, we can bring the normality back to the normal ways we were used to live. So he came up with that organization, and we are giving awareness. It's our responsibility. It's my responsibility as an individual, you as a journalist, to take care of what's going on in our world. And you cannot be able to achieve that alone. So we need all of us to be able to achieve that goal we have, to be able to come back to the world, like how our main icon in Kenya, Wangari Maathai, was saying, if we don't treat the nature well,
Sure.
the nature will treat us well. And that well of nature is maybe we be extinct or we be nobody.
Sure.
So that's why we came up, or that's why he came up with that idea for all of us to join the effort. For all of us, the power of many. You play your role, I play my role for the betterment. How shall we play that role? It's to stop some other things we do individually. Like I heard you earlier questioning my colleague, what should we do regarding this yogurt plastics we do? Not only the issue of yogurt.
Yeah.
I said in earlier is the issue of human crisis. We are the one who are causing the crisis to us, and we don't have any human who will come up to help this crisis.
Sure.
So it's our idea, it's our effort, it's what we take to bring this awareness to everybody. Take care of each and every part you play. Let me take care, let my colleagues play, take care, and everybody. And that way I think we bring that solution. So we, as we don't have time, we are giving solutions. And the solutions we are giving, they are in 3 categories. One category is climate love. The climate love, we give it to the people who are doing good things. For example, I get my colleague planting tree. I should not stop him not to plant tree. I should encourage him. I should even join his effort and his idea of planting those trees. The second idea is regarding climate idea. You can come up, okay, like in our country, Kenya. Already we have started to feel the effects of climate, like what my colleague said earlier. Before, our parents or our grandparents, they were able to tell at this particular day or at this particular time, the seasons will be this way. Nowadays is no more predictable. So we need to play that role. At least we solve and we go back to how things were. We need to stop so many things, wastage of plastic, wastage which is brought by fossil fuels. We should fight them in all ways possible. So many things. I cannot even number them today or tomorrow. But I think our engagement, our effort, it can play a role. That pillar we have as we don't have time is called warning. We should warn people that are doing bad things. For example, I can come to your place and I know this and that you are not doing good. I cannot fossil fuels, they are playing role, maybe for the sake of money. But we should tell them. If we not tell them, we'll be perish all of them together. But we need us how to tell them stop this.
So does it mean that in your platform, I noticed there's an industry or there's a company that is having emissions on or air pollution, so I can indicate on your platform and they get the warning?
Yeah, that's why we are there for that. Go there as individual, join our organization. We don't have time, you can find us in Play Store or wherever. And despite even our platform, be that voice to those people. Tell them, people sometimes we fear because maybe this organization is strong, maybe this industry is very strong. You have the capability to tell them what you are doing, you are harming the humanity. You are harming the future of tomorrow.
Wow. Quite a platform there. That is We Don't Have Time. I'm sure there's a way you can join them. They can follow you on We Don't Have Time.
Okay, We Don't Have Time. We are all over. You can play along individually by joining us through Play Store. If you search us, We Don't Have Time, actually right there. Let your voice be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. That is it. Remember, you can ask your questions. You can direct your questions to this team via our social platforms. That is Dissect TV on social media, or our social media handles is Dissect TV, or you can send your SMS to 23595. That is 23595. That is the scrolls running down your screen. You can also send your feedback to that. We will appreciate. This is the morning dew show. I would have given you an opportunity to say bye to the people, but unfortunately my time is up. So let's meet next time. Remember, this is the morning dew show. I've been your host, Remo Mugo. Today it's been about climate. So stay put for tomorrow. You never know what could be the conversation. See you next time. Same place, same time.